All right, guys, we are going to be getting things started here in just a minute. Almost ready. Just checking a couple things out real quick and we'll cover what we're going over. All right. How is everyone doing? So, thanks, Tom. Appreciate the audio. Sounds good. All right. So, first, to get things rolling, shout out to the Olentangy Brewery Company for my libations today, this evening. And man, we got to figure something out. I don't know if I want to keep giving y'all all of these beautiful sunsets, man, that we're missing in here streaming. Now, all jokes aside, though, I do enjoy doing this, but during the summer we might have to make some time adjustments because I definitely want to see and get the opportunity to see more sunsets, capture them time lapses and all that good stuff. So, what we're going to be covering tonight, we're going to be doing just another BTS edit. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, or anything like that. Um, I have the project already all loaded up into Adobe Premiere, which is our software we're going to be working with tonight. Everything's pretty much all good to go. I made my proxies and all that good stuff already. So it should flow and go pretty quickly and pretty smooth. I'm trying to think. It was something else I was going to talk to you guys about before we got things going. So I guess the main point of view tonight, just kind of like just the flow. So just kind of giving you, we have a lot of people who have recently been paying attention to the content and all stuff like that we post. And we're giving y'all the sauce, man. We're letting you guys know exactly how we do it. So, if you wanted to learn how to edit, you want to learn how to color your correct, make some slight color adjustments to your footage to make your footage look a little bit better. You're trying to learn any tips, anything, we're sharing all that info. So all you guys got to do is just tune in and get hip. You know what I mean? To kind of stuff we're working on, what's going down. So without any further ado, lastly, real quick, so I'm gonna drop you guys some links that you guys need to make yourself familiar with. So here we have the spare time footage. This is the YouTube. So our YouTube channel, so you guys can check out the content that we post there. A lot of times we post our live streams. Um, they don't always go directly to the live streams for whatever reason, but still, you want to be familiar and a follower of a subscriber of our YouTube page, just because that's where we are releasing tons of new content, like consistently. There's a web series up there, some documentaries that we have up there, some really solid interviews. So just a lot of great content that's on our spare time page, spare time footage YouTube page. And we're going to be putting some newer stuff up there because we're in the process of editing a short film that we shot over the weekend, which is really dope. Not going to go into details on that just yet, but just throwing it out there. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our live scene stuff here. All right, so give me a second to get Premiere going so you guys are able to see it, and then we'll be ready to roll. Maybe. All right. All right, all right. So, like I said, guys, I got everything pretty much all together. So we're gonna be pretty much able to just jump straight into this edit here. So another thing too, I know Tom was telling me I should talk about this. Just the way I organize a lot of my footage, and when we're starting to kind of talk more about that short film that I mentioned, I will go more in detail on that or in depth. But this just helps simplify everything. I cannot stress, how important that is. and just really having, again, when you have some sort of a plan, it helps. But first, I start with just organizing everything a certain way. So this animations folder is where I'm gonna put like any masks and things like that I make in the edit, and I'm gonna bring it into my project folder, and I have it in its own separate itemized or dedicated bin. Then here I have all my audio that we're gonna be using today. This is obviously all the footage, all the clips. Here I have Tom's like his intro, then my outro, and here we're gonna have like any overlays that we made tonight, any effects or anything like that. And then here we have some of the photos from this particular session that we're doing on working with tonight. So first things first, we're gonna start. Obviously, you guys know by now if you tune in and you've seen a couple. I start always primarily start with music when it comes to my edits. So I've already listened through, kind of have an idea of the track that we're gonna use. I got no drip in my pocket. So going with this one just because I feel like this kind of somewhat represents the model that we work with. She was younger, really bubbly personality, kind of fits the vibe slightly. So I'm not gonna make any adjustments just yet as far as the length of the time. Probably gonna keep this about a 1 minute edit though, to be honest with you. Um, and in that case, what I may end up doing is going ahead and trimming this song down. But for now, I'm not gonna do anything like that. We're just gonna go ahead and jump into the edit. So first thing first is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and find our intros. I'm gonna get that in here. So I'm gonna make that fit the size here. All right. All right. So now, first order of business, what I begin to look for kind of in this situation, I'm thinking about what clip do I want to bring in to give my introduction to my edit and what is going on in my edit. So that is kind of where my head goes at this point in my process. Is what's going to be next? Like, what are the viewers going to see? You know, in this particular instance. So right here, when times we have that piece clip to cut, boom, we're gonna bring in where you guys first see our model. We gotta find that. So we're gonna start coming back here through this footage folder. And we're gonna find what we're looking for. And so another thing too that I like to do, because all of these clips are kind of organized in sequence. So to kind of add to the edit, add to the excitement of the edit and things like that. Really recently, what I've been doing is kind of bouncing those, and what I mean is like I'll grab something from the top, grab something from the bottom, grab something from the middle, grab something from the bottom, and just kind of go like that. And it just depends on what I'm trying to do with the edit. Say, with these BTS edits, like I just want to keep my energy. It's really shot promo style, or the similar ways that I would do, promotional edits for, a business or something like that. You just kind of want a lot of energy. It's not a whole lot of like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this specific thing or anything like that when doing BTS, unless we have something like really, really specific. So let's see. So when I make the first introduction to them, I always typically try to show like their face and get the best expressions possible. It's the first time they're going to be shown, on the edit or in the edit. So you want to kind of show them in the best possible light. But I'm thinking, honestly, if I find a dope enough shot, you know, where Tom looks like he's doing something, I may actually start it with that, which is something kind of different from the way I've done these typically. Mm-mm. Oops, yes. And this is something that is a little bit different. Normally, I'll comb through this footage. Um, I shot this probably about 3 weeks ago now, and excuse me, I have not combed through this footage. So as I am seeing it, you guys are seeing it, or as you guys are seeing, I'm seeing it. So just bear with me if it takes me a little bit longer to kind of comb through and actually see, you know, clips that I like or whatnot. And that's what we're doing. I just want to find a nice kind of intro expression that we're going to use for Miss Maddie here. And so I'm gonna say too, another just to point out, like these clips are a little blurry. These are proxy clips, and then I have them playing at half resolution. Excuse me. So some of them look like the focus and stuff like that is off. It's not. Just I have to remind myself of that. All right, so I think this might be the clip we. Let's see how this looks in here. Take just this little piece here. All right, and again, as normal, I have my hotkey set to hit one button, and that resizes my image just to fit my frame rate or sequence timeline. Okay. So, and that's an okay. We're gonna keep going. See, I'm probably end up swapping that out for a different clip. Don't love it. Don't necessarily hate it either, but you know. You know, let's see how this. Let's see. I kind of like this. And before we start doing any adjustments or color corrections, I want to find the clip that we're going to actually be using. And then we'll start to kind of make adjustments from there. So all I've done with this clip, I just disabled it. So re-enable, disable, re-enable, disable. So now we're just able to see the clip that I want to see. I got no drip in my. I got no drip in my. So let's see. This is just to see how this would look. I like this, bringing this piece in better. I got no drip in my pocket.
I got no drip in my pocket.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep this nice and high energy. So even these little short clips like that, where there's not a lot of movement or motion or anything going, we're gonna use. But I'm gonna catch it right where she's in that flash. Oops.
Got no drip in my pocket. I got no drip in my pocket.
All right, so now to mix this up, let's see. We're gonna see if we got any. Take that little piece here. Let's see. Oopsies. I wanna extend it out. I wanna just do this. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this, probably duplicate it. Ooh, goodness, I'm tongue tied tonight.
I got no drip in my pocket. I got no drip in my pocket.
Actually, we're gonna make that go away. We're gonna pick a different clip. But before we get too in the weeds, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and start making some adjustments. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see. All right, so you guys should know the routine by now. We're gonna keep these scopes from dipping into black. Keep the whites from getting too crazy up top here. So what we're seeing over here is this kind of bluish reflection of Tom's flash, kind of reflecting the light back into the camera there. So obviously, in our scopes and our histogram over here, we're not gonna press ourselves on that. But I do not like this reddish tint that we have on Tom. It looks kind of crazy.
I got no drip.
Let's see, we take here.
I got no drip in my pocket. Drip in my pocket.
All right, so you guys know we don't want just boring still shots where there's nothing happening. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hype this up a little bit. We're gonna just punch it in some.
I got no drip in my pocket. Drip in my pocket.
All right. So now we're just gonna start to cut up clips, and we're just gonna have fun with it. So if you guys hear me just kind of getting quiet and kind of zoning out, I'm still here. We're just gonna keep this bad boy rolling because I do have like kind of I hadn't state this, but I kind of have like a personal challenge tonight. I want to see really how far in this edit I can get tonight. I want to see how close to completion without rushing anything I'm gonna be able to get.
I got no drip in my pocket.
Okay, so one thing to add more variety, I want to switch this clip. So I'm gonna put this in the middle, and we're gonna bring this here, and I'm gonna put this on the outside. Now let's see how that looks.
I got no drip in my pocket.
So just like that, I just made that whole
I got
sequence
no
way
drip in my
better.
pocket.
Still don't love. I'm gonna bring these highlights on time down.
I got no drip in my pocket.
All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get this adjusted. So I'm gonna bring our histogram back up here, RGB parade, whatever you want to call that. And excuse me, we're gonna use our wall as a janky way to kind of quickly adjust the white balance per se. And I do know that that is definitely not the best way to correct your white balance. You should be doing that in cam, but you know, doesn't always work out like that. And what we're gonna do, actually, I'll bring our shadows back up here.
In my pocket.
Okay, so now, beautiful thing, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get to doing we're gonna copy. You guys aren't able to see this, but what I'm doing here is just copy and pasting my attributes. And all that is doing is just bringing over the corrections that I made to the clip here that's super similar and adding them to this clip here. Obviously, you still may have to or should make additional adjustments. You know, I make sure your color balance looks better. But it just helps out on time so much. So as you're going through these, you're not having to do each one. You know, if you get a clip that's similar enough, you can copy it and paste the attributes and then make some slight, you know, adjustments from there. All right, so now we're starting to roll a little bit.
I got no drip in my pocket.
And I don't even think I posted on IG, man. Like, are you even doing anything if you don't post it on IG and tell everyone what you're doing? I don't think you are. So let me post this really quick. We're in the middle of a live session and then some posting on stream. We're live. Tune in. Link in bio. Boom. 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 Shaboom. All right, back focus. Let's get back to it. Now the people on Instagram know that we're live.
I got no drip in my pocket.
And now, so we're gonna copy this clip here. And to copy clips, super easy in Premiere. Press and hold your Alt key. Click on the clip you're looking to copy or duplicate. Drag it over or lift it above on the next track. Boom, you got a duplicate clip. So now we're gonna right click, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to reverse this clip. So we're gonna switch this up just a little bit, and this is a little thing I like to do, kind of add variety to clips because I see we're kind of moving through these a good bit, and I don't know how much footage I have that's gonna be shots that I actually love or really like, and I do want to extend this edit out a little bit. So just being mindful though, I am at 26 seconds in it already. That's including Tom's intro piece and this little snippet here. So ideally, I do not want to have this edit past 1 minute and 30 seconds. If we can get it around to a minute mark, that'd be solid. But if we're a little under here, we're good, I guess, but not as good. I like to keep my edits to about a minute.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe.
So now you see
Must have forgot it.
just little subtle things. So just that little,
Must have forgot it.
and then we're gonna cut quickly to a different clip. But I love adding subtleties into the edit. And I may do another bounce in like that. Because let's see here.
Pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe. Must have forgot it, or maybe. Yeah, I already lost it. Must have forgot it, or maybe I. Must have forgot it, or maybe I. Must have forgot it, or maybe I. Must have forgot it, or maybe I.
So if you're tuning in, you're wondering what I'm doing right now. I am thinking a million different thoughts in my head right now because I love to edit to the beat. I love things that happen to the beat. I love to kind of have and keep that kind of motion with the way the track. Because when I select a track, I'm thinking about how I'm going to edit to that beat or that music or that song, whatever I've selected. So that's what's going through my mind right now. I'm thinking about what can I do because I feel something's supposed to happen on this beat here or on that clap, but I don't know what I want to happen in this particular point of the clip. So I'm thinking through what will look right, and I'm seeing just in my head, just kind of mentally, I'm getting ideas. So I'm thinking, if I put a glitch here, what would that look like? If I would have put just a simple transition here, or if I would have masked out Maddie and do something, funky with that, what would I do? So this is just kind of my creative process. And this is just kind of how I flow. I can get into the mode of things. It's just thinking. Okay, what if I did this? What if I do this? And so that's kind of where my thoughts are right now. So just bear with me. So before we even do that, though, we need to color correct this clip. And to be honest, look at this here. So I believe like my highlights are just a little too much. There we go. That looks better. So now I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Click here, and I'm going to paste the attributes. Paste the Lumetri color, and boom. So now I can go back to thinking. I know exactly what we're going to do. Oopsies, I'm going to not keep cutting that clip. That's what we're not gonna do. But we're going to do a speed ramp here. So love speed ramps. I love super fast speed ramps that jump and show a ton of movement. So what we just did is I took the same clip that I just had, and I'm probably gonna use that clip. You guys are probably gonna see that clip in another edit or another piece in this edit, just because I like the look and the expression that she was giving. But all I did was take and made a small cut. Well, not even a cut. What I did is just took the clip, sped it up to 99.99%, and then had left myself enough room just to keep in beat to where when this beat hits here, it's going to go back to normal. And then when I make another cut here, and this clip is going to go bye-bye. So now let's show you how this looks. So what we also may do is this. We'll flip it backwards. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already. Let's we don't do that, let's see how it
Must
looks.
have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Maybe I already lost it. Maybe I already.
So just real subtle, and I'm trying to think if I even like it or if I want to do something else. For now, we're gonna kind of keep going, keep building, progressing through here. Let's see what else this looks like.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already.
So one thing,
I got no drip in my
colors look different.
pocket.
So we need to adjust this. We need to fix this. So I think what it is, where my highlights at? Eight, five, 16.
My pocket. Must have.
I actually like that
I got no
already.
drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already.
And so I haven't decided if I want to put Tom's, like kind of bring his foes in towards the beginning, like the end again, or if I'm gonna incorporate them kind of throughout. It's always like a fun thing I like to do when I'm doing these edits too. Like thinking like, what could I do that's different that I didn't do last time, or that I did do last time that I could switch up. See, I like this. I like the show. See how we can bring and show you guys Tom's dedication for this shot. How can I use this clip? Let's see. Since real quick, we're just gonna paste those attributes just to have that on there already.
Forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Or maybe I already lost it. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Maybe I already lost it. He lost it.
So maybe let's see if we cut here, do the same thing, speed ramp. We're gonna go 99.99%. And let's see, extend it out slightly.
Lost it.
And I'll be real, guys, this doesn't always work out perfectly like it's looking like it's gonna do for me now. So a lot of times it's just about playing and tempting,
Maybe I already lost
manipulating the clips to see what you're gonna come up with, that works best.
Forgot it, or maybe I already lost it.
So that actually is super dope. Digging it already. So boom. So now what we're gonna clip this right on beat there. We're gonna flip to something else. So
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it. Forgot it, or maybe I.
excuse me.
Forgot it, or maybe I. I already lost.
So what I'm doing now, I'm lifting my highlights back on these clips here with Maddie. Just being mindful again that I am, I'm working with proxy footage at a quarter of the resolution. So I'm just trying to be mindful and remind myself of that. So the images are looking just a little bit different. So I'm just compensating for that.
I already lost it. Already lost it.
Good mic. So now we're back towards the top of what we've been through slightly. So we've seen a lot of these clips. So this edit I'm going to estimate is probably going to be probably about a minute, roughly. That way I can keep the pace and the energy that I like and still get, you know what I mean, get the best shots and all the fire and all that I look for when I'm doing these. Cause ain't no point in doing it if I'm just gonna show you some trash. We don't do that. We don't do garbage. Garbaggio. We only cook fire, man.
Maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go.
So I like that kind of that.
Don't got enough to go cop it.
What can we do there? Gonna do something funky.
Don't got enough to. Don't got enough to go cop it.
Maybe that's where we bring in some photography. All right, let's hop over here to Tom's photos. So, what BTS was it? I think I want to say it was the last BTS I did with Miss Kia Oroso. I think that's how you say her name. I apologize, Kia, if I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, Kia, that last BTS that I did with her, manipulated the way that the photo showed. So, and I did that by utilizing keyframes. And I say manipulate, I just kind of had them slide and do little slight animations. Nothing fancy, nothing too, out there, over top or anything like that. Simple, really, straightforward animation. So I would have one photo come, and then it would slide over. Here, what I do, I'm just going to show you guys. Bring it in. Pardon me 1 second. Pardon me. While I find this clip. So I can show you guys what I'm talking about. You guys don't think that Justin's over here going crazy. Where are we? Boom. Okie dokie. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to disable you. So I'm gonna bring Miss Kia's clip up. This is really what I was wanting to do in the beginning. I was wanting to show you guys my last BTS, and then I was gonna start with the new stuff. But we're gonna do it in the middle, so we're gonna pick ideas from here. But anyways, without any further ado, boom. Right in here is what I'm talking about. So I'm thinking we may do something like that with Miss Maddie here, especially since, and the reason I'm thinking this is because, watch, I'm going to show you. Pop back over here into the photos, and we're going to just bring this photo of Miss Maddie. Whoa. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. So you guys see it's like it's filling the whole frame. that is Adobe automatically punching into what they think that, we should be seeing. So now when I actually go to resize this to fit on here the way it should, we see we have these black borders. I'm not the biggest fan of that. So there's been several methods that I've utilized to kind of get rid of these black borders or to make it look not so bad. One method is by coming over here to my overlay bin, getting that open. You guys can't see it because my big head on my screen, it's over there, but sorry. But if you look, you can see underneath that, or if you just look in the general area where my Instagram, tag and handle and all that stuff is, and just kind of look a little underneath, where my face is, my beautiful brown face. But anyways, um, what we're gonna do, we're going to click down here on new item. We're going to add a color mat. Okay, and then with our color mat, we're gonna go ahead and it's gonna automatically have your sequence settings. So we're just gonna click OK when that pops up. Then we have this dropper tool that's going to pop up and it's going to be selecting what color that we want to select our color mat to be. So I'm going to click on the backdrop that we were shooting with. I'm going to go ahead and name this. Name this tan. I don't know what color that is. And then now we see we have a new item here. So we're going to go ahead and just bring this under. And obviously this is not right. So if we click there, it'll change it. But as you see, it looks just a little off. And the reason for that is, I guess there's, we can get really funky with it. But the thing is, and the point that I really wanted to make, like this is going to match as close as it possibly can to wherever you select it. But because we're playing with shadows and things like that that are baked into this image, there's no 100% accurate way to get these to actually match, your background without doing an incredible amount of work, really more than, than what's necessary. So this is one method that I've done. And I'll leave it like this and maybe add some transitions and things like that to do, a little more with the image. So this is one option. Um, And then another option we could do, we can actually add an overlay. We can bring some stuff in. So bear with me. Let me go to my browser folder here. I'm going to actually I'm going to go to where I have all of my overlays, my effects, and all that good stuff. And we're going to go ahead and bring in like some overlays, and we're going to tinker with some of those a little bit and see how they look and see how they feel. To be real though, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not the wildest about the overlays, especially for this kind of stuff, because a lot of the ones that I have, I do have some that are. Oh well, here we'll bring out all the ones I have. I have some color ones. I have like circles and images and stuff like that, but a lot of the ones are like kind of like film stuff. And so I think personally it kind of takes away from Tom's photos, and I don't want to do that. Like that's not what we're trying to do. We want to show off what he's, the images and stuff that he's taking. He put a lot of time and effort and energy to make those bad boys look as good as they do. So we want to showcase that as the point of all of this. So another thing that I was thinking about, what maybe trying, is creating some sort of border, and that probably not gonna do tonight, just to be real with you guys, because it will take a little bit more time. I will want to do some experimenting over in After Effects, with creating borders and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, so these are just some of the ideas. I'm just trying to find some other overlays here that we can tinker with that makes sense to point out what I was trying to talk about here. And I just have a lot, and I don't know where they all are. All right. So I'm already getting some ideas on some of these bad boys. We're gonna put some. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna do some funky stuff with it. Let's get funky, funky, funky. No. All right, all right. So I'm almost done. You guys should see some stuff coming through there. Again, apologies that you guys can't see my folders. I actually don't want you to see my folders though. Y'all need to see all this info here. It's top secret information, you know. It's not meant for all the public eyes, man. It's an inside scoop. All jokes aside, man. If you guys are interested in knowing where we got a lot of these digital assets, I will gladly tell you. Do not move like that. You know, we don't have any reason to withhold information. It's free to everyone. Just hop on YouTube, do a little bit of research. If I found it, you can too. All right, so we got enough for now. All right, so basically what we're gonna do, like I'm gonna show you this. Like that's gonna look crazy, but I'm gonna show you anyways. If we brought that, we put this right over Miss Maddie. Like in my honest opinion, it takes away from Tom's photo. Okay. 1 second. So we have an issue. Adobe has an issue with this. For whatever reason, it will go black on my hardware render, my timeline. And it only does it when I notice when I'm using proxies. So now I switched over to software render. But anyways, now we're back here. So we can manipulate this size. But to me, I just like I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it takes away. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm not gonna use that at all. But what we can do, we'll play around with some of these. And I actually kind of like this circle, believe it or not. And we're gonna resize that. And we'll have to tinker with this and really get it in size. And so I'll tell you, these mats here, these came from a company called Tropic Color. TROPICCOULOR. I have a few of their digital assets and I like them quite a bit. So, I mean, it's still hiding summertime's photo, but it shows it a good bit. And I may use this with the edit, I may not. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and save because this is. Guess we didn't adjust this clip. Find that odd, but okay. And I don't know why, man. I don't.
I got no drip in my pocket.
All right, so
Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost. Forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop. Got enough to go cop. Got enough to go cop.
what we may do is extend this little circle dookie, doohickey here. And I'm gonna switch out the pictures inside. Maybe a good way to introduce some different photos. Maybe. Yeah. We can get our photos to show. Oh, yeah, I guess we got to go back to the photos first. And not the overlays. And I just do want to make sure that I do a good job of selecting, at least an image that's not going to cut off too much because I know I'm going to be doing heavy cropping once I get it in here. So I want to make sure that I don't block off too much of this photo. If that makes sense. All right. So, ooh, man, it's already 8 o'clock.
Got enough to go cop it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like go cop it. I'm about to take cop it. I'm cop it. I'm about to take cop it. I'm about to cop it. I'm about to cop it. I'm about to cop it. I'm go cop it. I'm about to
So we're gonna do again. Don't want stuff that's just lifeless. We don't do that. So we're gonna add a little something.
cop it. I'm about to go cop it. I'm go cop it. I'm about to go cop it. I'm about
All right, let's find one more. I may even do is this. Just bounce it out. Oh, someone shared our stream. Thank you, Tom. You shared the stream, sir. Appreciate you, good fella. All right, come on, work with me. There we go. All right. So now let's see how this looks.
don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off. We are already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take enough to go cop it.
We're gonna duplicate this a few times and we're gonna see.
I'm about to go cop it. I'm about to take cop it. I'm about to take cop it. I'm about to take go cop it. I'm about to take got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off.
All right. I'm sorry. I get lost in the weeds of sometimes doing little things that people will never notice. But to me, in my opinion, that's the kind of stuff that makes you different and sets you apart. You do those little tinks and tinkers and tweaks of things that people don't typically notice or pay attention to, and you do enough of those, enough over time, they'll notice it, and then you kind of become known for it. Letting y'all in on the insides, man, giving y'all even more sauce. There's more sauce than y'all signed up for here, man. I just start charging. All right, so this is a clip we skipped over. We did not, for whatever reason, make any adjustments. So we're just gonna go ahead and just adjust this down and get this, where we want it or where we feel it needs to be color-wise. And then we're gonna go ahead and move on and see where else we want to go in this particular edit. We got an hour left, man. We got an hour left. Just racing against the clock at this point. So let's see. Can we do it? I know we can. But we'll get into the weeds if we get into masking and all that stuff. So if we do the mask, anything is not gonna happen. I know that much. I can tell you. Even with the improved productivity of masking, still time consuming.
Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off. I'm about to take off like.
So
I'm about to take off.
So we're gonna go. Beat goes boom boom. So I'm gonna edit to go boom boom.
But I'm about to take off like a. Cop it. I'm about to take off like a.
All right, let's see if I switch these ingest settings back because this is gonna drive me nuts. And no, it's not. So it will want me to restart this software in order to play and show this footage as it should show. I don't know what's up. It does not cooperate that great with, for whatever reason, with the NVIDIA GPU, man.
Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a.
Now we kind of see the movement.
Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a. About to take off like.
I don't know if I like the pan down right there, so we're gonna just slide that back some. I'm gonna find something like this is better.
I'm about to take off like a. I'm about to take off.
So now we're going to introduce some jump cuts to get to the points in this clip that we just brought in that I want to actually show. I'm just going to jump them quick. So several different ways you can move through pieces of content quickly.
I'm about to take off like a rocket. I'm about to take off like a rocket.
Now we're just bringing this other clip we had in. We'll see how that looks back there. May not work, may work. Who knows? We don't know until we know.
Don't got enough to go.
Now we just gotta.
Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket.
Like the way that moves. It's okay.
Already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off. Cop it. I'm about to take. Go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna paste these attributes. I don't even know what clip we have selected for the attributes to be real, but we're gonna paste them. You look at that color balance right off the Air Forces. Now we're gonna copy this clip and we're gonna paste it right here on the next clip. This is the same clip with her, and it should be the same. And what do you know? What do you know? It's not.
Take off like a rocket. Take off like a.
All right, so we're gonna lift those blacks up some, bump up the shadows slightly, get a new color balance. Actually, I'm gonna go back.
Like a rocket.
I tell you what, man, it's toasty. Your boy is. I'm sitting here spicy. I'm hot, man. I don't know where Ohio got all this heat from out of nowhere, but sheesh. Already got the AC on. I don't even feel it, man. Gotta plug a fan in or something here in a second. All right, so let's save this. Do a quick playback, see where we're at, cause it's almost.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem with.
I like it so far. I like the energy of it. I like how it moves.
Don't got enough to go. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a. To take off.
So let's see here. Let's see here.
To take off like a rocket.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. Ooh, oh Jesus. All right, yeah. I gotta pause this real quick, guys. We're gonna come right back in a hot second. I gotta give me some air circulating this piece. Right, all right, all right. We are back. Sorry about that. It got a little too toasty inside of here. All right, so let's pick up back where we're at. Look like we got 4 million people watching right now. So I apologize for that break off 4 million of you guys. But you guys are now back in tune with the thing that you have been entertained
I got
by.
no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket.
All right, so let's see if we can. Let's see where else we want to go in this edit. I don't know if I want to go. Yeah, I think we'll go here. Catch Tom doing his thing. Yeah, nice little perspective shot there. Getting straight into the camera lens, you know? All right, so now.
Rocket. Houston, we might have a problem with that.
So I'm gonna shorten this up. So I'm gonna slide this down. I want this piece to end right where this beat cuts here. And again, I'm telling you guys, like this is why it's so important to know what you're editing to, as far as your music and stuff goes. Just because it makes the edit, especially if you edit in a way you have a method or process similar to mine and my style, where it's you want it to have a particular energy and you're feeding that energy off of something. You know, for me, it's the music.
Got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a.
And so if you don't do a good job of selecting, you know, the music, and you plan to have your edit primarily based off of said music, and everything is going to be following said music, you're going to have a lot of problems. So I'm just throwing that out there to you guys. Like, music is super important. Just audio in general is incredibly important to your edits. But music plays a big part, especially for me. And my joint is tripping right now. There we go. Who will tell you what? It feels so much better in here, man. Y'all, I didn't think I was gonna make it. Y'all was about to start seeing me on this thing sweating, man. You on here looking like a roasted pig. So let's see here.
Houston, we might have a.
Kind of like that.
Houston, we might have a. Rocket. Houston, about to take off like a rocket. Houston.
And so I'm gonna manipulate this clip a little bit, and what I mean is I'm gonna add some motion to it. It is panning down, but I'm gonna do something. I'm just gonna slide it in at the same time, slightly. I'm gonna go 110. We're gonna take this keyframe node and slide it back, so it'll be at the end of the clip now, set it in the middle right there.
Houston, we might have.
And I like that. It just adds a little bit of movement to it.
But I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a.
And just that little bit of movement, in my opinion, it made that particular shot. All right, so let's see. Who's texting me, man? I'm gonna read y'all text messages on the live stream. My God, Dill Pickle. I can send you that later, my guy. So where do we want to go in this edit? Where do we want to go, Miss Maddie? Where do we want to go? Let's see. Find a nice expression that I like. This is that clip I said I was going to use before. Bam, we're going to reintroduce it again. I said I liked it a lot then. Let's see how it plays into this. We may swap some stuff around.
Off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean much. Houston, we might have a problem.
And this is another thing too that I like doing. I'm gonna show you guys. I like playing with the sizing.
We might have a.
But real quick, I'm gonna paste my attributes, and I'm gonna just correct the colors of the clip and the overall look. Excuse me. I apologize for the loud, intrusive yawn. My sleep schedule has been all over the place, man, as of late, and so I'm probably operating on just like 5 hours of sleep, if that. Probably like 4 to be real. Come on, switch, man. All right, so Adobe's being janky right now. You know, you gotta leave it to Adobe to kind of want to wig out for on you right when you're in the middle of doing something that you deem as fairly important. So, all right, fine. And it's probably gonna keep doing this, and the reason is it's kind of lagging behind because my computer's software is being taxed because Premiere is running off my software and not my GPU, which is built to handle this incredibly easy, but you know, that's another conversation.
Houston, we might have a problem.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep this same clip all the way through,
But that don't mean
but we're gonna catch it and bring it back
we
full
might have a
size.
problem. But that we might have a problem. But that might have a problem. We might have a problem. Problem.
We're not gonna hit off the snare this time. Excuse me. Instead, we're gonna feed off of that clap. Or the beat, I'm sorry. And you guys probably hear that fan noise in the background. I
Houston, we might have a problem. But that don't mean money. Houston, we might have a problem. But that don't mean money.
So now we're gonna go ahead and mask. I really like this clip of her here.
Don't mean money on sound. Don't mean money on sound. Money on sound.
So I'm just gonna duplicate that down, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and replace with the After Effects composition. Bear with me, I'm gonna switch screens here, so that way, hopefully you guys are able to see my Adobe screen when it loads up here in a second. Now, also too, real quick, I want to point out, like, can you guys see that light right? Other way, I guess it'll be over here, right above my finger. That light right there, that's a super dope light. We're gonna talk about that. I talked about it briefly, really briefly in the live studio stream that we had. Was it last week? Not last month. I'm sorry. I'm gonna talk about. I know Tom plans on talking about it because he just picked up one. Not gonna rain on his parade, but I definitely want us to talk about those lights more because I'm finding out even more features about them. Those lights are incredibly dope, guys. Like, so if you guys are looking for some lights, we're gonna give you guys some light recommendations later this month. So stay tuned on that. The Godox TL60, that's what that is, though. It's super dope. Complete RGB. Actually, let me flex on y'all real quick. I'm gonna show you guys on the live what this joint does. Let's see here. You see that back there? And all that's being controlled, you know, right from the phone. So like I said, that's all I'm gonna give you guys now. We'll leave the purple back there, like the purple look. So we'll leave that rolling. Talk about that a little later. Tom's gonna talk to you guys some about it because he's stoked about it as well as I am. But without further ado, we're gonna hop over into come on, man. Don't do it like that. Let's see if we can get. Bam, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, cool, perfect. So now we have our After Effects window up. So we can work in After Effects. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna quickly save this as Maddie. Yep, we're just gonna do that. So we're doing a new comp. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna right click on here. I'm gonna pre-compose my comp, move all my attributes into that location. So now that's that. So now what we're gonna do is going to double click on our composition, click on Rotor Brush tool, and it's gonna select Rotor Brush 2. Let's just make sure. Yeah, Rotor Brush. Pretty sure it's Rotor Brush 2. Oh man, what I done did. Boom. Okay, so now we got our Rotor Brush tool linked. So we're probably gonna have some issues around the edge there. I can tell already. Actually not. That's dope. Got it really good. I'll take it. Perfect. It's doing really well. All right, so Now what we're gonna do is we have our masks roto brushed around, our image. This is obviously everything that we want to keep in, everything that's in the confines of that purple pinkish line. So we're gonna come over here to our tracker. I'm sorry, not the tracker, to the preview window, and we're gonna click next frame just to make sure everything, like this brush that we just mapped around, we need that to stay intact through the complete duration of this clip. Looks good, looks good. And it's just going frame by frame is what we're doing. You can't tell that this is really much movement at all, but there is some ever so slight movement. And perfect. I love when the plan comes together. Maddie is masked out perfect. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and freeze that mask. What this is going to do is going to freeze the brush to what we just set and took the time to mask out. And I see a mistakeo, so I'm going to unfreeze that. And I'm going to come and we're going to fix this. I don't want it to cut off. Oh, so this is what I was hoping it wouldn't do. So now we're going to hold Alt and I want to deselect that. Would have just selected and make sure it's got her hair and her ear there. And we're just going to move it forward just to make sure everything else is good. It looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks great. Excellent. Now we're going to go back and just repeat that process. Freeze that clip. It's going to freeze 17 frames. 17 frames total. So now that's frozen. We're going to click here. Boop, boop, bam, there's Maddie. So Maddie with no tan background now. So now the next step we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and feather and we're going to shift the edge. And what the shifting the edge does, if you can look, it will kind of slightly bring out, the mask that you did, or it will bring it in slightly. So just be mindful that you don't go too crazy. And then just reducing the chatter just kind of cleans up your masking ever so slightly. So now boom. So I have that the way I want it. So we're gonna go ahead and unfreeze it. It'll save everything there. And so now our next step, we're gonna go ahead and export it. And this is where that animations folder that we spoke about comes in. So I'm going to export this to the Adobe Media Encoder. It's going to take a little second. It's going to open up an entirely different program. And boom, here's our clip. So, oh shoot, you guys aren't able to see this. Just bear with me. So the export settings that you need to do when you're exporting animation, or you want the background to not be there, you want to export as QuickTime. I have my stuff set, preset, so you can hop on YouTube, take a look at some of the videos out there on how to export a clip with no background animation. But I do know far as the setting, it has to be in QuickTime. So you go into QuickTime, and then there's some other stuff. I'm not gonna go jump into the weeds because you guys can't even see it. But we're gonna go ahead and just export this clip. Oh. I need to make sure it's going to the right location. And it was not. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this in the folder that we needed to go to. So bear with me, you guys aren't able to see this, but this is what I'm doing. I'm just finding our Studio BTS folder and finding Maddie's folder and finding animation, and we're gonna save it there. And so now we have that ready. It's gonna go ahead and export that little clip, those 17 frames that we just masked out. And I'll tell you a little bit more my reason for doing this once this is completed here. And we go to bring this back into Premiere. This is exactly what we're gonna do. And the neat thing that I really love about doing it this way, and just my process, I forever have these clips, these little masked images. They're forever masked. So God forbid if something ever happens to my my Adobe After Effects file, I don't have to worry about having to go back and do all that time again, remasking anything. So as I've stated several times, and I've talked about this, whenever you bring in footage into oops, let me switch window again, sorry. So you guys are still looking at my After Effects window. We're going to switch back over, hopefully fairly smooth, to yes, Premiere. Boom, I love it. So now we're back in Premiere. Okay. And so like I've stated and talked about this numerous times before, actually real quick before I jump off in the weeds, let me bring in our animation clip. I know exactly where it's at, so I'm gonna get there quickly. So I'm opening this up, And boom, we got it right there. So now it is brought into Adobe Premiere. So the reason that I do this pink clip right here, this is whenever you select a clip, you right click and you say, I want to replace with an After Effects composition. It's going to automatically do that for you. And Adobe will automatically save that and have that little piece of information there. But from my personal experience, what I've noticed Adobe fails to do, it fails to like correctly link whatever your save footage is here in your save file with the Adobe After Effects file. So many times I've had where I'll do and have like several of these, and I go and I close out because I'm going to come back to the project later, tomorrow, next week, whatever. And I close this out and I come back to it, and guess what is not there? All that information from all the masking that I did in the previous session before. So what Justin said is, I'm not going to keep wasting time doing that. I'm going to mask it myself, export it, and it's done. So, and that's precisely what we've done. So we're going to go ahead and delete that because I don't need that clip. And I'm going to try this again. I'm going to bring the clip of Maddie that I just masked out right in. And so that's that same clip there. You don't even notice anything different. But the sweet thing, the thing that I really love about this is, let's say, I'm going to show you, I'm just going to do something weird with the colors. If I want to take this bottom clip and I wanted to change, say, the color of everything on my image except my subject, then here we're going to come click on creative and we're going to do some stuff. So I'm just going to take the highlight tint. There we go. Now you're starting to see it. Adobe's just, it's not playing right. So here we're going to go to curves because you guys will be able to see. No, I don't want to go to curves. Color wheels, this is what we're looking for. So I can literally take anything because we have Maddie masked out. So I can make that background pretty much whatever I wanted to. You know, if I so choose, we can go blue. You can get as funky as you want with it because she's completely masked out from that background. So that's the neat thing about, you know, just my method of doing that. It's done. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about, you know, if I close out of this project, I come back in, you know, a couple hours from now, later, tomorrow, next week, it does not matter. The masking is done. The animation is saved. And then I can also do, you know, a little bit more quirky stuff with the actual piece there. And then another thing too that I like about doing it this way is less processing power on your computer because you've already exported the image and things that you need. So in all theory, I could theoretically close out my After Effects program if I per se didn't need to do anything else. But I always keep it open just because I'm going to continue to do additional masks and things like that throughout the duration of this edit. I don't know. I've been wanting to try this idea out. I don't know what's going to be the right edit to do so or what I would even do with it. But there's a way that I can actually attach images and stuff like that. You can use After Effects to attach things to, you know, your background. So what I was wanting to do is, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm not gonna get that away because I want to do it. I want someone else to do it. All right, so let's take a look at this edit, man. See how we're looking so far. Actually, real quick, let's do something here. Something needs to happen here. So, so there's so many different things that we can do. I just don't know what. So we'll keep it simple. We're just gonna pop over here to our effects bin. We're gonna scroll down to presets. And we're just gonna take a look at some of these presets. I just recently downloaded some interesting ones that may be pretty slick. And this is where you kind of can get into the weeds, so to speak, just because it's just so much, you know, like I know I constantly am downloading new things, new digital assets, new presets, new things to try and tinker with. And unless you kind of have, again, some sort of plan in mind, or exactly kind of what you're looking for, it can you can find yourself wasting a bit of time kind of going through like, ooh, I wonder what this looks like. Ooh, I wonder what this does. Ooh, I wonder how this will look right. And I'm gonna try to not do too much of that, but I feel like I already am looking for a particular one that I just recently downloaded that I am unfortunately not seeing in this particular moment. Where you at, man? All right, so let's do this. So if you have something, you can always search. And yep, it must have not say those presets. That's trash. Adobe's being pretty trash today. I'm not gonna lie to you. Real quick, we're gonna import these presets, man. It's only one thing, so that's the only reason I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna bring this in really quick. Hopefully. Overall, I know where I'm going to get it. It is 8:36. We're kind of getting towards the end. There we go. What the heck, man? So what I'm looking for, the transitions that I'm looking for is what I'm trying to find. But it's a lot. I have a lot of transitions and crap in here, and so it's kind of getting into the weeds, which I said I was trying to avoid. But I really want to use these. Where are you? Just bear with me a couple more seconds. We'll look to this. And if I can't find this, I'm going to select something else that I do like. And that will work just fine. Anyways. All right. So we're just going to tinker with some different transitions just to see how they'll look on. See? Something simple. I'm not even going to go crazy. So I like that. Keep that simple. And may even do just a little bit of extra sauce to this. And what we may do is put a little hearts behind Matt here. All right, so what we gotta do? Probably need to. So this graphic is really slow. Let's see if we can fix this, because this is incredibly slow. Like, this is not gonna work. Like, what is this? Can't get jiggy with this.
We might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve 'em. That don't mean money will solve 'em.
Man, I know one thing. I don't want just coming up from the bottom. We're gonna do it right. You know what I mean? We're gonna do it right. Hook it up, make it kind of do. This computer would work for me. Come on, man. Yeah, I think we're gonna be kind of bringing this bad boy to a close tonight. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make as much progress as I anticipated. But hey, you take what you can get, right? And you make the best of it. So what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna kind of, because what needs to happen right now at this point, I would be restarting Adobe, just because you probably can't hear it, but my computer is humming because it feels that this is a lot. And for the software, yes, software rendering, yes, it is a lot. It is a lot of pressure on the GPU or on the computer. But if it was able to process all of this footage through my GPU, we should be fine, especially with running proxies, and quarter resolution on the footage is insane to me. Should not have any issues streaming or doing any of this right now. So now just a little pop of the hearts. And then you see with the masking, what that did, it put those hearts behind Maddie, which adds a little flair to it, you know? And I kind of like the variation because you have it on the clip here, it's kind of behind it. Then it tucks and jumps in front, and then she jumps in front of those. So, all right. Let's play through this. Actually, now let's try to keep going real quick. We're going to keep going. We're going to edit and edit and edit, try to go through until about 8:50. What we'll do is 8:50, about 8 more minutes is we'll do a quick recap, kind of go over quickly stuff we did. We'll do a playback and take a look at where we're at on the edit. And yeah. Or maybe we won't. So Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve 'em. That don't mean money will solve 'em. Let's pop back over here to footage. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve 'em. Solve 'em. No, that don't mean money will. I love shots that have camera movement, even if it's just the simplest of movement, like just that camera. I guess it would be a push in shot. Just, I love those, man. I feel like it just adds so much character to and just emotion to, the footage. And that don't mean money will solve 'em. No, that don't mean money will solve 'em. No, that. As much as I like the push in, I don't like the actual clip. I think it's just not enough going on. So let's see if we can find something else with a little bit more excitement in it, maybe. Let's see what we can make up. Like even when we can find stuff like that, it helps. Just keep in mind, we can always kind of push in. We can simulate a push in by doing my little tip that I showed you guys earlier. And that's just by utilizing keyframes and all that good stuff. So I'm not.
Money on solve. No, that don't mean money on solve. Money on solve. No, that don't mean money on solve.
And no, don't like it. So let's see. Let's find one that we do like. So what we can do is this. So I'm pressing the button and pop back over to some pictures maybe. If we're gonna do that though, we gotta get creative with those if I can speak, we gotta get creative with those photographs.
Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money on solve. No, that don't mean money on solve.
And I think I have the idea. We're gonna pop over to our overlay bin. And we're gonna see, whoa. Again, I'm gonna resize this and you gotta pop over here again. For whatever reason, these traffic color ones, you gotta get them, they're not the correct format for my timeline. They never are. So I'm gonna do that. And so what we're gonna do, probably gonna put a photograph in this big frame, and we're gonna find some clips to stick in these smaller ones here. So let's see how we want this to look.
Woke up dreaming other commas and I got $100 in my wallet. I've been trying to make it do it for my mama. Solve. No, that don't mean money on solve. Woke up dreaming of.
Maybe we slide this back.
No, that don't mean money on solve. Woke up dreaming other commas.
I think I know what we do.
No, that don't mean money on solve. Woke up dreaming other commas.
And then quickly, we're getting close. We got 2 minutes. So this will be the last thing we do, and we'll do a playback. Okay. And I'm kind of moving just quick here, guys, just because I want to get this done so we can do a playback. And like I said, because Adobe is doing what it wants to do, and it's lagging like crazy, and it's really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. It's the amount of power this PC has. This bad boy should be smooth as butter. You feel me? Butter. That's how smooth it should be, but it's not. It makes me angry sometimes. All right. So, ooh, look at that. Could not even be more precise. 850 on the money. So now what we're gonna do a quick playback, then we'll bounce out of here, talk about a few things, housekeeping stuff, upcoming streams, and all that good stuff. So this is what we've done so far.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve them. No, that don't mean money will solve them. Woke up dreaming of the comma.
And so, yeah, it obviously skipped a few things. If you didn't notice, it did not play through the photos as they were supposed to play through at all. So yeah, I got to bounce out of Adobe, and I got to tweak up, fix up a few things. So, um, yeah, womp womp womp. But anyways, man. Anyways, I super as always, man. We super appreciate you guys for tuning in. Um, this was a little different, you know what I mean? A little different tonight, a little different, a little different. And so, not a bad thing though, Had a few little nuances, but I think it's good. So, like I said, I want to talk about a few housekeeping things. We have a lot that we're going to be rolling out, over the next month and a half. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail, but we did just finish up an incredibly dope short film. And we are already working on a few other things along with said film. But what I did want to bring to you guys' attention is I want to talk about just kind of plans for the stream. I know this week, I think Tom's got some stuff he's going to be doing in studio. Next week, I will also be doing another live edit. We're going to do one more live edit next week. And then week after, I think it's what is it? Looks like the 20th, 19th, 20th. That's going to be an in studio session. We're going to be talking about focal length, shot planning, and things like that, what to look for when it comes to planning out your shots. And then hopefully the week after, I think the date is the 27th, I would be able to have a videographer come on, a featured videographer. We'll talk about some of their work, some of their content. We'll talk about some of their tips, get some tips and concepts on how they plan their shots, how they put together, what it is that they're looking for, how they do their editing, all that kind of stuff. So long and short, I say all that to say, we want to continue to bring you guys dope footage, but we also want to make it a point to collaborate with some of the local creatives in the community. We want to be able to put our minds together and come up with some dope content, man. That's what this is all about. For me, the big point of me sharing all of my inside, my info, my tips and tricks and all that stuff, it is to make sure that everybody um, has access just to the info, man. It's there. I've learned online, so it's my choice to give back, I guess you could say. But I just want to make sure that and then another thing too for me, I enjoy teaching and doing this kind of stuff. They say the only real way to know that you really know something is if you're able to teach someone else. So if I can teach one person how to edit, then I feel like, hey, I might have a pretty good grasp on things. And so I love joining, try new different, concepts and ideas and stuff like that. It's always a good time. But yeah, guys, I mean that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else. I think this was a pretty dope stream. Shout out to my guy, Success is Certain, John Pennick. You know what I mean? This brand, you guys get caught and support that. Um, got some dope content from them. I just did an edit, so I'll be dropping. So stay tuned. If you're not familiar with if you're not subscribed to our Spare Time Footage YouTube, Spare Time Footage on Instagram, Spare Time Footage Facebook, you need to change that. You need to make that happen. If you're not subscribed to Tom Angeletti, IG, and paying attention to what he's got going on there, you need to change that. And if you're not subscribed or paying attention to Just Gene 87, actually I need to fix that. It's actually Justin Gene 87. So I got tired of people thinking that my name was Gene. My name is Justin. It's Justin. Last name is Gene. So get familiar with all of those social media content pages because that's where a lot of our content is going. And so if you're not hip, you're getting left behind. And why would you want to be left behind when you can get hip? You feel me? So say all that to say, guys, I as always appreciate you all for tuning in. I think it was a really dope stream. And last but not least, once again, thank you to the Olentangy Brewery. Um, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I forget the name exactly. But Olentangy Brewing Company for the I Can't Feel My Pants. I literally cannot feel my pants right now. And I think that is a very good reason to end this stream because I can't feel my pants. But anyways, all jokes aside, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a good stream, been a good edit. Stay on the lookout. This bad boy will be dropping Friday on Tom's page. So again, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and follow Tom Angeletti, Justin Gene 87 on Instagram, Spare Time Footage on Instagram, Spare Time Footage on YouTube, and all that good stuff. So thank you guys. To the next one.